Good afternoon. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
आपका आज का सेशन किस कोर्स का है?
BH-6013, Event Coordination and Control.
तो इसमें आपको ये पता है कि आपको क्या क्या बताया जाएगा, क्या क्या पढ़ाया जाएगा, या आपको क्या पढ़ना है? आपने इसको पढ़ के देखा कभी?
यस, सर। ओके, सर, आप पूछ रहे हैं। मुझे लगा आप
हाँ, मैं
बता
पूछ
रहे
नहीं बताऊंगा तो मैं तो पहले मेरे को ये तो पता लगे कि भाई आपने आपने BSc 11 भी पढ़ लिया, 12 भी पढ़ लिया, आप 13 पे आ गए। तो इतना तो समझ में पता लग गया कि इवेंट मैनेजमेंट है क्या चीज। अब इसके टाइटल से जो आपका ब्लॉग है, कोर्स है आपका, दैट इज इवेंट कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड कंट्रोल। तो सबसे पहले हमको ये मालूम होना चाहिए ना कि हमें पढ़ना क्या है, कंटेंट क्या है, क्या हो सकता है। दो
ओके।
चीजें हैं, या तो आपको पता होगा या क्यूरियोसिटी है कि क्या होगा। इवेंट कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड कंट्रोल यानी कि अब हम क्या सीखेंगे। इवेंट डिसाइड हो गया, अब इवेंट को कोऑर्डिनेट करना है। और कोऑर्डिनेट करना है यानी कि उसको मैनेज करना है, उसके अंदर जो इवेंट प्रोसेस है। और जब आप इसको कर रहे होंगे तो दैट इज इवेंट कोऑर्डिनेशन। आपका जो ये इवेंट कोऑर्डिनेशन ब्लॉक वन जो है, ये ब्लॉक इवेंट कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड एग्जीक्यूशन है। यूनिट टू जो आपका होगा वो होगा स्टेजिंग इवेंट। और यूनिट थ्री जो होगा दैट विल बी केटरिंग मैनेजमेंट, फूड एंड बेवरेज। ठीक है?
यस, सर।
ओके, तो ठीक है, अब हम स्टार्ट करते हैं यूनिट वन से। दैट इज इवेंट कोऑर्डिनेशन, मैनेजिंग द इवेंट प्रोसेस। As for other management cycle, the management of an event passes through the same phases of cycle comprising of planning, implementation, and evaluation. In the context of event, these phases describe the sequential nature of the event management. According to event management body of knowledge, what we call them as EMBOK, the phases of event management consist of initiation, planning, and implementation. प्रोसेस बहुत सिंपल है। आपने कुछ सोचा, दैट इज इनिशिएशन, कि भाई आपने कहा कि हमें ये करना है। फिर आपने उसकी प्लानिंग शुरू करी। जब प्लानिंग हो गई, उसके बाद उसका फेज आ गया इम्प्लीमेंटेशन। विदाउट ए प्लान, an event manager will not have anything to convert into action or make something happen. Implementation is the phase where event manager is set to carry out the plan by contracting, coordinating for the desired goods and services, working out logistics requirement, and executing the event. Here, implementation. This implementation phase can also be referred to as the coordination phase because of the type of activities it deals with. The event, also referred to as execution phase, covers the event setup and actual running of the event. अब यानी कि वो execution phase में आ गया। The project plan developed during the planning phase of event management is converted into an action plan during the implementation phase, which leads to event setup and actual running of the event. The type of activities occurring in these phases are the implementation phase, that is the coordination, that takes the event from blueprint to the beginning of actual setup. The activities involved during the coordination phase are obtaining license and permits, recruiting volunteers, organizing staff, contracting suppliers, accepting registration and reservations, production management, and contracting caterers and transporters. Now see how much big the target is. In that phase only, we have event, that is execution phase. That starts with the end of the coordination phase. It includes event coordination, execution, planning, execution, 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 Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now हम बात कर रहे थे event की. That is the execution phase. That starts up with the end of the coordination phase. It includes event setup and the actual running of the event itself. The activities which can be summed up under the execution phase includes paying suppliers, coordinating with volunteers and staffing, ticketing, on-site registration, badging, signage, catering, licensing, transport licensing, on-site management, monitoring risk and security provisions. See, हम सिर्फ इवेंट देखने जाते हैं, उसी में ये 1 घंटे में, आधे घंटे में, 2 घंटे के अंदर सब फैसले कर लेते हैं. Now think over how many people are working behind that event. The execution phase ends with the end of the event, tearing it down and placing the venue back in the pre-event condition. यानी कि actual closure. The coordination phase and execution phase of event management are called production management. देखिए इम्प्लीमेंटेशन और इवेंट में इनमें बेसिकली लिंक क्या है. आपने प्रोजेक्ट प्लान को इनपुट करवाया तो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन आई, इम्प्लीमेंटेशन से उसका आउटपुट मिला तो वो एक्शन प्लान बन गया, एक्शन प्लान बना इनपुट इवेंट के लिए, इवेंट का आउटपुट आया इवेंट प्रोडक्शन. दिस इज द कंप्लीट साइकिल. How many things, how many components are working simultaneously behind it. Performance elements of implementation and execution phase of the event. Once the event manager is set with the event plan, the life cycle moves into the next phase of implementation stage. The event manager, along with the event team, starts working together the accomplishment of specified activities. During this phase, the functions which are used frequently include communication, supervising, procurement, verifying, monitoring and controlling schedule, cost, quality, and risk to ensure that the activities takes place according to the device plan. All the tasks are broken down into detailed action plan which are operational and manageable, as well as bringing the event to life. Now comes the phase. अब मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ कि how do we see what is the what are the phases of event. As far as the phase of the event is concerned, to when it is shifting to implementation stage, it what are the different performance elements? Acquire goods, services, and human resources to initial phase. Coordinate logistical and spatial requirements. Establish communication infrastructure. Monitor and control scope, schedule, cost, quality, and risk. Now it moves to event phase. In that, you have to inspect and monitor service delivery, direct on-site logistical operations, react to change and problems, and implement contingency plan as necessary. The implementation phase, the components basically cons- that are emphasized in the implementation phase includes acquiring goods, services, and human resources, coordinating logistical and spatial requirements, establishing communications infrastructure, and monitoring and controlling the scope, schedule, cost, quality, and risk. As far as the event execution phase is concerned, the event is also known as execution phase, which begins once the on-site production starts. This phase consists of technical setup and event directing or show calling. It can be treated as the reflection of our action plan and relates to the performance of the action plan. Since by this time all vendors, service providers have been selected, finalized, and contracted, the prime task of event manager during this phase is to monitor service delivery and to formulate action plan to control any damage or deviation. Once the event moves to execution phase in its life cycle, there is no backtrack, irrespective of its degree or preparation. Event तो होगा अब चाहे किस भी कंडीशन में हो it will go. You cannot stop. Now see how what is the overview of the scope of the event phase. Now, how many things have to be inspected and how it has to be planned. From the left side of the screen, that is moving, installation, maintenance, and on the right side you can see inspect, direct, and react. And in between the activities are providers who are providers, attendees, participants, attractions, environment. This is all related to the event phase. The performance element of execution phase includes inspect and monitor service delivery, direct on-site logistical operations, react to change and problems, and implement contingency plan as necessary. आपको हो सकता है, यू माइट बी रिमेम्बरिंग, हमने फर्स्ट इसके अंदर BSc 11 के अंदर आपको ऐसा ही बताया था कि व्हेन वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट द मैनेजमेंट, आपको हमेशा एक कंटिजेंसी प्लान रखना है अपने साथ कि इफ इन केस, जो हमने एग्जांपल लिया था दैट वाज ऑफ रेन, अगर रेन हो तो इन दैट केस हाउ the place and the position can be changed and the event can be made successful. Then comes your issues inherent with implementation of event plan. Operational plan details and implementation performance. Implementation knowledge and performance. Deviation from the plan. Implementation conflict. Implementation communication. Now comes project management for events. Basically, as we said, कि हम कोई भी event कर रहे होते हैं, that is a project. But now the thing is that we will see the definition and phases in event management. How this project management is related to event management. As defined by Larson and Gary, a project is a complex, non-routine, one-time effort limited by time, budget, resources, and performance specifications designed to meet consumer needs. Another definition for project management, as proposed by Patel and Young. Project management, they defined it as a process of organizing and managing the required resources in a controlled and structured manner to deliver clearly defined work required to complete a project within a given scope, time, and often cost constraints. As project is a temporary and one-time venture undertaken to create a unique product with specific outcomes and benefits. An event, whether executed as one time or annually or weekly, is a project. The event is hence a deliverable of the project management process. The definition of project emphasis on the managerial aspect required to deliver an event. Event management is made up of number of management areas like planning, organizing, leading, marketing, design, control, and budgeting. Staging, risk management, logistics, and evaluation. I simply think, if we have to organize, there are different types of event. You are aware of it. Small event can be a birthday party. A bigger event can be a marriage function. More bigger can be a launch of a product. Or expanding it, it can be a sports function. Now see how many things, how many areas of management are common to all these activities. In a nutshell, we can say that for designing or any event, management skill is must. And there are equally same number of processes that are applicable to all the events. Since we are talking about event management, so everything will be related to an event. An event, as you are aware, event can be any function. Each area affects the other during the event life cycle. Project management integrates all these management tasks necessary to oversee the work before, during, and post-event with the aim of controlling the risk and potential failure by providing a clear direction that aligns with strategic goals and objectives of the event. Gary and Larson's they define project as it has a specific completion date, budget, and product. In a nutshell, the project management of events concentrate on the management process to create the event and not just what happens in the event or at the event. The event may take place for few hours, but the event project management process takes months to deliver an event. What are the phases in project management for events? A project passes through a series of stages to make the event deliverable. The first phase is called the initiation, in which the idea and concept of event is developed, as well as the objectives are set. This phase may include a feasibility study, producing an event proposal, and pitching for the client's business. The project feasibility study report will tell us if the event is viable, also the process, possible site and date suggestion, possible sponsors, draft budgets, possible risk, logistics, and the required management to deliver the event. The second phase is project planning. In this phase, whatever is needed is worked out and how it fits together. Different knowledge areas will require a separate plan, and these plans are called baseline plans. All these plans are integrated and need to be implemented. That means now we are into the third phase, that is implementation form, the third phase. This phase characterizes the application of all plans like hiring staff, sending requests for tender, confirming contractors, and carrying out the event schedule. This phase also characterizes of monitoring and control, making decisions in comparing plans with reality, reporting progress of work to key stakeholders, and risk management. Now, because we are into the implementation phase, in that case, risk management is also considered. The next phase of the project is called the event. Everything has been performed, planned, come to the event. The project event manager is working during the deliverables, which is the event. In this phase, the staff members, including the volunteers required during the event, may increase greatly. This phase is a short time period and there is a presence of major stakeholders, audience, and participants. The management team at a certain time before the event will move into operations mode. Shutdown is the last phase of the event and requires a separate series of tasks and responsibilities. The event manager will be responsible for this, and the management will return to their pre-event formation. Now, what are the techniques in project management? First one, defining the project and scope of work. Second one is creating a work breakdown structure, what we call it as WBS. Third one is analyzing the resources. The fourth one is identifying tasks and responsibilities. Fifth one is scheduling. Now, if we have to, I said something that is work breakdown structure. Now, suppose we take an example of conference. If we take up an example of conference, if we are planning for a conference or we take up an example of conference, three components are there. That is the speaker, the venue, the market. Now you can see as far as the speakers are concerned. So we have to first of all decide the topic. We have to decide the speaker. Then we have to arrange the speaker and we have to then reach the speaker. This is how the speaker part is performed. Then comes the venue. If we talk about the venue, we have to decide the venue, or we have to book the venue, and then we have to arrange it. A third component is marketing. How the marketing can be done. That is, first of all, decide the flyers, print the flyers, mail the flyers, and send email. This is how marketing is done. As far as scheduling is concerned, schedule is a vital tool in facilitating online delivery. This allows the team members to see deadline for their assigned tasks and plan their work accordingly. Also, it allows the manager to monitor the work in progress and take necessary action. The schedule can be represented by a Gantt chart. Gantt chart representing the timeline for different activities under the domain of marketing and venue. The chart shows that the pre-event activities under the domain marketing and venue have started 9 weeks before the event. I will show you how that because nowadays everything is being performed on computers. There are softwares available. Now you can see if we talk about the task, event was to be performed here. The process, different activities started here. We arrange catering. Now we have reached this. Since now we have reached this part, future activity will start from this now. Second activity was its marketing. So this part has been completed, this part has been elapsed. And now we have this. Here we will start the marketing. We decide the flyer, print the flyer, mail the flyers, and send emails and the reminder. Now we have reached this one. During this time, we have another week's time. In that, we can remind and we can see that everything is in control and it can be performed as we had planned. That is why we had time as above. The chart which you can see over here, this is Gantt chart, a sample of Gantt chart. How normally activities are performed. Here on this sheet only you can see what this is the final when we are over here. We have attained this point. Actually what happens in Gantt chart, first of all we have to decide the task. The task list is developed while creating the WBS. Can be used. The task therein can be further broken down for the purpose of better monitoring and control. Timeliness. Everything has to be performed in time. Timeliness refers to sticking to the timeline allotted for each task, including the starting and completion timing. The timeline allotted includes consideration for identifying the service of its provider, the procurement of the same. For many aspects, the timeline is set in reverse mode and the date of the event. In the sample Gantt chart, the timeline has been plotted as weeks. Then comes your priority, which part has to be performed earlier. Setting the priority task enables the event manager to identify which tasks are to be completed first before the other tasks could start. Priority creates a hierarchy of tasks and identifies the critical task. Then comes your grid. Once the event manager completes the above steps, a grid is completed with days leading up to the event across top and the list of tasks on the left side of the grid. For this, the event manager can make use of Excel program on computers for better utility of the Gantt chart. Then comes your milestone. Since the Gantt chart is used to monitor the progress of work under event management, tasks which are of particular importance can be highlighted on the chart and named as milestones. For example, a milestone can be the completion of the pathway from gate to venue on the Gantt chart because that is a part of the event. Then comes your network analysis, critical path method. Network analysis is a tool that provides information in the flow of activities and enables the event manager to understand the relationship of a task with other tasks and also the criticality of that task. Now, if we take up something, any job, so we should decide what are the different activities, which activity has to be performed first, which second, depending upon the area in which we are working. That is basically defining what we have to do. For that, we follow critical path method or critical path analysis. Is the base for network analysis, whereas within activities are. represented by circles and arrows, represents the flow of work. Sequence of work illustrated using arrows, which indicates the dependency of the task on the completion of other tasks for its initiation. This shows that unless the first task is completed, the second task and other tasks cannot be started. This determines the critical path and criticality of the task. Now you can see what is actually meant by CPM. And CPM में करते क्या है? These are the different jobs which have to be performed. Now keeping the eye on the path, irrespective of the sequence. I'm not talking about the sequence at first. We suppose I started from this point and I went to this, then this, and then finish. This is one path. Second path is moving this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way. Now the thing is that how to find out the shortest and the best possible route so that all activities are performed simultaneously. This is a critical path method for sending invitations. Now you can see if we start from this, we have to pick calligraphy. Start. So we will move to pick printer, design invitation, print invitation from the calligrapher, the person who's going to write. Move to this part, address invitation, send invitation. Now the job is finished. Now see how important it is. You can do it, but how to address write it. As the diagram what you saw, event manager can easily understand the relationship between the different tasks to be involved in sending the invitation. That was a mere example of it. Now we move to the second unit, that is staging events. I don't know to how many events you have been to. What you saw and what was there. What are the elements of event staging? First of all, we start with theming and event design. The foremost aspect in staging an event is deciding for the theme. It is a major creative, artistic, and innovative decision to determine what the theme is. The remaining other elements such as catering, venue, audiovisual, special effects, sitting arrangements, decoration, and performance are designed or created to fit it with the theme. But first of all, theme has to be generated. Now the thing is that what does, as I said, that theme is the most important part, and all the other activities which are related to the theme can be modified, can be arranged according to the theme. Now, what are the different elements which revolve around the theme? That is sound and light, venue, catering, artistic, entertainers and speakers, props and decoration, audio, visual and special effects. These all things are related to the theme of the event. Can be of any type or nature, but once the theme for the event is established, rest of the activities of the event production take accordingly. For instance, an event theme on medieval India will have decorations, food, catering, hospitality, entertainers, sound and special effects, medieval complementing the theme of the event. हाँ, ये तो नहीं हो सकता कि वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द थीम ऑफ द इवेंट और जो भी इवेंट हो रहा है दैट इज रिलेटेड टू मेडिवल पीरियड एंड वी आर मेकिंग providing things in that event which are not at all related to medieval period. So we have to plan things accordingly to the event. Then comes your choosing the venue and event site. The event purpose and finalization of the theme opens up options for selection of venue. In fact, sometimes the venue becomes an obvious part of the theme of the event. Selection of venue is actually a critical component in event staging, as it will affect the layout and performance of other elements of event staging. Venues can be of various kinds. They can be conventional or conference centers, conference hotels, arenas and stadiums, theaters, unusual indoor venues, offices, swimming pool, shifting to these parts. Historical venues like fortresses, castles, palaces, ancient ruins, temples, and ancient theaters. Nowadays, venues are available which are built in specifically for particular events, providing a range of infrastructure already in by existing event venue as a conference center can be transformed easily using decoration and props. It is up to the expertise of the event manager to exploit these surroundings and characteristics for a better event experience. आपने देखा होगा बैंकेट हॉल्स जितने भी इवेंट होते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू द इवेंट दे आर staged and that depends upon the management skill of the event manager, what he proposes and how he plans. There are many factors which need to be considered while selecting a venue, like inspection being the first, as it must, unless you are completely familiar with the selected venue. Firstly, before proceeding, perspective of three major stakeholders need to be considered while viewing a potential event: the performers, the audience, and the organizers. What are the factors for selecting an event venue? First of all, the location. Second one is compatibility of the venue with the theme. matching the size of the venue to the size of the event and its availability, audience comfort, visibility of the audience, and sitting configuration. All of these fall into venue configuration. Facilities at venue, that is stage, area, storage area, entrances and exits, parking, toilets, scope of using technology for events like digital activity and conferences, uses of LED screens, etc., equipments and communication devices, and other facilities. Transport to and fro around the venue, venue access for equipment, audience, staff, performers, VIPs, and disabled, climate, including microclimate and ventilation, cover in case of poor weather, catering equipments and preferred caterers, safety and security, access for emergency vehicles and ambulances, power, that is, amount available and outlets, and the lights, emergency plan, evacuation routes, and exits. As far as audience and guest is concerned, the aspect of audience which needs to be considered in event staging are position of entrance and exits, arrival times, dumps and trickle, sitting and sight lines. That also affects where the stage is and the where the audience will sit. Entrances and reception areas, according to Goldblatt, are of importance in establishing the event theme, and the event organizers should look at it from the guest point of view. The event manager should design entrances and welcome areas with appropriate signage, optimum representation of theme of the event, greetings and escorting services. There are three basic types of sitting. These are classroom, theater and banquet type of sitting. आप गए हों शादियों में गए होंगे you had been to marriages, conferences, I don't know, but you might have seen, I don't know you have whether you have feel it or not, the sitting arrangement. Now I'm talking about the different sitting arrangements what are being used in the events. First one is classroom. Any event that is based on workshop or presentation mode can have chairs placed in a classroom style. Here, desks or proper tables are required with sufficient leg space, circulation space. Same way, you might have all seen the classrooms, how the benches are placed. Like second way is theatre. Sitting in tiers is excellent for a theatre-like arrangement. Stage shows, movie theatres, seminars, music and dance events generally have a similar setting. In place where the stage is elevated, the sitting should be designed so as to form semicircle around the stage with a direct view of the event from the every chair. Third one is banquet, where interaction among attendees guests is required. Round tables with chairs around them is suitable. This setting is typically used for dining, marriage, marriages. You might have seen any one of these arrangements. Is there and sitting arrangement is in the screen. Similarly, the screens are at the top. You can see it any, and this is a closed room. Accordingly, the venue can be modified. This basically depends upon the expertise of the event manager. Now you can see another diagram which shows how the sitting arrangement is made. Here I have a stage and the sitting arrangement can be planned this way. Another matter is leadership. This is golden. Another is the secretarial and all the part. The chairperson or chairman can sit over here, and all the other members will be on. This is the first one started. And this is the banquet. Normally what we see in marriages. Now comes programming. Program is a sequential flow of event activity. It is the schedule of performance, speakers, entertainers, and catering. The programming of event depends on event objects, expectation of the audience, constraints of venue and infrastructure, the expectation of client and sponsors, the availability of elements of staging and their relationship to, but not the least, is the logistics. An event program is rated as good when all the elements of the programming, including speeches, performances, entertainment, and catering, are well placed in the schedule. Now, see how everyone wants this and everyone wants to keep to it. And as far as the management is concerned, they want to make it the best. Big events have multiple activities going at multiple locations in the event premises. In such situations, many times the event managers go for the Gantt chart for the simplicity of the model. Then comes your stage. The stage in the context of event management does not hold the same meaning as of the theatrical stage. In event management, the term stage covers the broader aspect of staging, which includes the staging area and not just restricting the purpose to its stage. The event manager uses the stage plan, as one of the staging tools. Following points should be kept in mind while designing the main stage or for the event. The first one is the backdrop of the stage must be according to the theme. It can be simple and elegant or extravagant and loud. The stage should be free from clutters, power cables, wires, projector, screens, plants can be big distraction for the audience. भाई स्टेज के आसपास तो नॉर्मल बात सी बात है कि स्टेज के आसपास जहाँ आपका बेसिक स्टेज है उसके आसपास ऐसी कोई भी चीज नहीं होनी चाहिए जो कि डिस्ट्रैक्ट करे. Then comes your props and decoration. These are important for any stage design. Plain stage can look very cold and boring. Even a little decoration will make it artistic. Furniture pieces or frills can give a very distinct personality to the stage. Access to the main stage should be easy and convenient. Getting up, coming down. Lighting plays a significant role in enhancing the main stage. Appropriate lighting should be selected to bring the best out of the performance. Speeches or activity taking place on the stage. Most of the events require projector screens on the stage for presentation of live video. They may interfere with the audience's view. The care should be taken to check out that the screens are placed at right places to ensure obstruction-free viewing. Normally, the planning is done in that way that it is easier for viewers to view it correctly. That means correctly means in the correct posture. Then comes when all these things have been modified and performed. Then comes your catering. The selection of menu is done with the whether it is a simple birthday party or a large-scale award function. Arrangement of food tables is a decision that needs to be taken along with the sitting layout. Then comes what are the quality control factors to consider. Appropriateness and enhancement of the event theme, menu selection and design, including special diets and food displays, quality of staff and supervision, equipments including style and quantity, and selection of in-house or hired, cleanliness, cultural appropriateness, that means a major consideration in a culturally diverse society, and staff to guest ratio. These are the things which normally as a guest we don't think, but as far as the event manager, you becoming an event manager, these are all the things which plays a very vital role. Then comes your cost. Are there any guarantees including those against loss and breakages? What are the payment terms? Who is responsible for licenses and permits? The caterer, the venue, or the event management? What deposits and upfront fees are there? What is the per capita expenditure? In each guest getting values commensurate with client's expenditure. Now see, costing also plays a factor. Waste management. Now the event has been performed. What about the last part, that is the waste management? This must occur before and after the event. Must conform to food hygiene and food safety regulations and environmental concerns. Must be appropriate to the event theme. Now we can move to props and decoration. That is the most important thing. What we see. Feeling is something different. But see, normally I see props. That means I identify color combination. Color combination selected for an event has the power to attract the audience. Hence, it is best to choose color wisely. Color combination should necessarily be dwelt upon in the initial stages of planning to ensure that all elements of the venue decoration are well coordinated to suit the event as a whole. You might have heard or you might have be a part of it that normally says a party with party theme of red saris or black and white this black coats and anything like that combination. That means when somebody has said it, so what normally a thing comes under our mind, everything will be related to this one. This is what. Now, who will be looking after you when you are going for hiring a place, whatever the event is, you are going, you will be telling it to the event manager that we have black color in our mind or a red color in our mind. Now his job starts. You told that everybody who will be coming will be wearing red saris and men will be with black suits. Now the event manager will think what should be the color to be used. That includes stage, venue decoration, everything has to be. Color combination should necessarily be dwelt upon the initial stages of planning to ensure that all elements of venue decoration are well coordinated to suit the event as it is. The choice of colors should be based on the theme of the event, its location, and also the personal preference of the host. What I told you. Simple, light shades should be more suitable for an afternoon lunch, while shimmery bright colors can be selected for birthday parties. Selection of colors can be made easy by following the different color schemes like Anados, Bright, and Completion. The complexity or simplicity of combination of tints and shades depend entirely on the event planner. लेकिन वो उसकी capacity. For example, the first birthday of a baby girl can be done in shades of baby pink, whereas a cocktail party could be decorated with black and tints of purple. I'm sending the colors. Just think that color combination in front of your eyes. Use of same color everywhere can be motivating. Break the monotony by using tints and shades of an original color or accents of complementary colors. Colors should be used in moderation so that they are not overwhelming and hard on the eyes. The color combination decided for the event should be visible on the invitation card, flower arrangement, stage decoration, and all other aspects of the event. Now, this is basically the management, floor and floor decoration. Decoration of for any event is must to spice up the place and light up the day. Usually, all the venues have to be redecorated for any event other than the entrance. Focus should be laid on the walls and floor decoration to enhance the location and match it with the theme. Wall decoration, they play a symbolic role in making an event successful. It can be used to create a statement or to express the message of the event. Walls of the venue should either be chosen as they are or covered with backdrops and banners, depending on the event. This is normally what is done. Your emphasis is on the banner now. You have forgotten the word. metal floor can be enhanced with the use of bright color to make it more welcoming to the guests. Most common materials for floor decorations are potted, potted plants, water bodies, rangolis, diyas, flowers, and fabrics. These all you have seen. Floor decoration can be made around the entrance door, besides the wall as border or near one stage. This is performed normally at marriage. Then comes your selection of furniture and furnishing. Furniture and furnishings used for the venue must make a good impression on the guests and at the same time ensures their health. The quality of furniture and furnishing mainly depends on the budget. There are various types of furniture during events to choose from depending on the event. These includes indoor and outdoor chairs, indoor and outdoor tables, children's furniture, bar lounge, chairs and cabinets, display units, and journal accessories. Lightning. Lighting basically plays an important role, as light will be falling on the blocks that block beam, your banners, your posters. Lighting is a very important element for designing and decoration, particularly the evening and indoor. It can be used to create a perfect ambience, set the mood, enhance decoration, and focus on all important aspects of the event. Right lighting can make a place look magical and even help in masking some of the less attractive spots at the venue. Lighting can create various moods. A room full of candlelights naturally evokes a sense of coziness and a feeling of romance, while a nightclub with shimmering and fast changing lights suggest fun, moving, enhancing all floral arrangements can brought up life to life. Floral arrangement can be brought to life with pin spot illumination. For a conference or seminar, it should be possible to dim the lights during a presentation and increase the illumination level while the discussions are on. For a wedding, the stage their best out of the performance with changing lights, audio, visual, sound, and special effects. An event can be made interesting by the use of special effects. These effects can be simple yet enchanting to make an impact. Using special effects is also about making an event special for the guests. Usually, the elements of audio, visual, and special effects is outsourced to companies who are specialists in this field. According to Goldbach, special effects at an event are used to attract attention, generate excitement, and sustain interest. Special effects can be used at family as well as commercial events like weddings, dance shows, product launches, and fashion shows. Some of the commonly used special effects are balloon drop, where a big bag full of inflated balloons is opened to release hundreds of colorful balloons at a particular moment. This can be used at an event like birthday party, New Year's Eve, and inaugural ceremony. Secondly, we can use hot air balloon. Third one is fog machine, fog screens, haze machines, dry ice, fog machines, bubble machines, wind machines, colored smoke machines. Now these things are being used at banquet halls. Raised stage, confetti, pattern projectors, computer screen with artificial waterfall, moving patterns, graphics and logos. Holographic projectors creating 3D effects, 3D image without using a projector surface. Pyrothic effect, which includes LPG, flames, waterfalls, effects, and so on. And then comes your fireworks. That is basically for entertainment and fun. Hospitality refers to the warm, friendly, and generous way of receiving and treating the guests. The package offered to sponsors or to the chief guest is also they expect the event manager to provide them with tickets, food, souvenirs, and gifts. Graham, Neroti, and Goldblatt have described many strategies to achieve success in the provision of hospitality to guests. These strategies are knowing the guest needs and expectations and planning the event accordingly. The production schedule. Production schedule as defined by Goldblatt is a detailed listing of tasks with specific start and stop time in occurring from setup to events equipment, removal of all equipments including PDF check. Then comes the recording the event. Recording the event is very essential for the very reason that events have a short life. The event team can use these event recording as a tool to evaluate the event. The factors which need to be considered for video recording are the purpose of recording, promotion, legal purpose, or sale to the participant, cost involving in terms of time and money. Third one is the impact on the event in terms of seating arrangements and stage lighting. The fourth one is availability of best vantage point. Now, if you have a recording, you can see what how better it can be made. What you think as a product, event manager, that this was lacking. Okay, we can change it in the next event as such, and there are different things video recording can help, and better you can show it for your promotion purpose. Then comes your green venue design. A beautiful way to create an event is to make it free. It is a myth that green is a term that should be associated only with the environmentalists. There are plenty of ideas available to make an event free and close to nature, starting from simple choice of vegetarian food instead of lavish non-vegetarian food, carpooling by guests, use of cloth napkins instead of paper tissue, generation of less waste, digital advertisement instead of paper holdings and so on. Following are some of the green designing ideas: eco-friendly holdings, venue location, reduce the use of flowers, simple decoration, lights, and crockery and tray. Now, let's we move to the next part of it: catering management, food and beverage. That is the unit 3. Catering, an integral element of event management. क्योंकि आप you might have seen that we have now planned everything. Now it comes to the last part, the basic part, that is the catering. No doubt it is an integral element of event. Catering in the context of event is an activity of providing food and beverages. F&B. It has evolved over the years and has become an artistic affair, which is aesthetically and scientifically done to create an experience. वो आप लोगों ने खुद आपस लोगों में बात करते हो कि लोग वहां गए थे तो खाना ये ऐसा था या ये चीज वहां नहीं थी, तो दिस इज व्हाट वो नई चीज वहां कैसे थी, कौन लाया, who was the person, what was the brain, whose brainchild was that was the event. Management of catering applies to the function of planning, organizing, coordinating, and controlling for achieving the goal of effective catering. Now you see, again, it is all related to marriage. Catering varies from the provision of fast food offerings at the food counter or canteens to a full silver service dining for clients. Complementary catering and events offer not just an innovative menu, but a creative presentation of the menu, leading to an effective catering design, with an additional component of hospitality service appealing to the sense of event attendees. Catering is based on the type, purpose, scope, and objective of the event. Some events require a supply of prepared foods on a pre-decided time at the venue for the guests, while other may require setting of banquet, cafeterias, cooking centers, setting of temporary kitchens, a static display of food items, innovative plating of food, and also personal food service to the guest at the venue. Now at times everything is happening, and as per the requirement for some events some specific format is followed, but depending upon the nature of the event, type of the event, time of the event, things are manipulated or managed accordingly to make it impressive. While organizing and food and beverage service, the event manager must determine the following functional needs to create an attractive, efficient, and cost-effective catering design. Number one is who must be fed and why. This includes the number and demographics of guests, attendees, stakeholders, group for the purpose of sustenance, energy, attentiveness, hydration, refreshment. Secondly, what must be fed to them? This comprises of food varieties, meal type, special foods, types, variety, nutrition, and budget. Thirdly, when to feed them. This includes the time, positioning within the program schedule, speed of food service, vehicle, dump arrival, and where must be guests be fed at, on off premises, cold room, open lawn, tent, backstage, break area, and standing, sitting, stalling. Now see, everything has to be considered. Silvers have identified seven functions of food and beverage service. These are satisfying hunger, raising alertness, रहने के इवेंट के बाद क्राउडीनेस नहीं होनी चाहिए, enhancing an image, increasing attendance, enhancing performance, encouraging interaction, and sustaining attendance. Now comes your catering management. We will start with the functions. It's catering operation. Catering operations refers to the type of caterer selected for the event. Catering operations used by the event manager may be an in-house, that means in the premises, catering operation, or an independent provider of premises catering operations. In catering management, the function of catering operations involve four major activities, such as understand the variety of catering operation types. Secondly, identifying the capabilities and constraints of caterers. Thirdly, select the appropriate catering operations. And the fourth one is oversee contracting and communication. Food service requirements. The function of food service requirement involves the activities of conducting a need assessment, determining the requirement of meal services, identifying refreshments and beverages service needs, and performing quantity calculation. After this comes the menu selection. Menu is a detailed list of all foods and drinks planned to be offered by a food service provider. The word menu, like much of the terminology of cuisine, is French in origin and derives from the Latin word "minutus", meaning made small. Depending on the type of the setup and the event, menus vary in number of foods and categories of food. Menu planning requires wide knowledge of food, their availability, their cost, and also the various ways in which food can be prepared and served to the guests. Menu selection process involves the following functions. Again, four functions are performed. Identify and incorporate nutritional requirements. Identify and accommodate dietary restrictions. Specify and integrate cost considerations. And the fourth one is conduct menu planning. The main categories of food within a typical menu are specialties or signature dishes. Number two is snacks. Number three is soups. Number four is main courses. Number five, desserts. Number six, drinks, non-alcoholic, hot or alcoholic. Now comes the type of events. The type of event for which the catering services is being arranged plays a role in deciding the type of catering. The catering menu must go down with the purpose of the. If we talk about what is the criteria for planning consideration. Now, if we talk about breakfast, it should provide energy and fuel the brain for morning activities, limits fasts and sugars that provide temporary lift and sluggish after effects. That means what mean is recommended in breakfast: proteins, whole grains, dairy fresh. Now moving further, we come to the breaks and refreshment. Here we have to refresh, motivate, and relieve boredom, including hot and cold beverages for hydration. Now, what can be provided in that? Whole fruits, muffins, energy bar, nuts, dry fruits, cookies, etc. Now we move to the third part, that is nurturing. Here, refueling and re-energizing for afternoon activities. That means we have to avoid heavy meals that will make people drowsy or sluggish. What can be provided in that part? It should consist of proteins followed by complex carbohydrates, hearty salads with protein, which are popularly used. Now we move to reception. This is basically circulation of gas, eatings or replacing dinner, usually with alcohol service or soft drink. Avoid too many salty foods that could increase alcoholic consumption. Foods should be bite-sized. Last but not the least, that is the dinner. More elaborate meal with fewer time constraints, often including several courses, including a rich dessert or a variety of dessert. Broad latitude with theme and style. What should it include? It often includes soups, salad course, meat, fish, starch, vegetables, bread, cheese, followed by coffee and tea. And the last, that is concessions, refueling and refreshment as a profit center. Snacks or comfort foods, sandwiches, and tea. While designing the menu should be systematic and must follow certain steps. Decide on the menu pattern suitable for the event purpose and meal function. Secondly, decide on degree of flexibility to be incorporated. Thirdly, write down the main dish and plan dishes around it. Match starters and salads. Decide on the dietary restriction and special needs, if any. Selection of desserts should relate to the main course. Then comes the different types of menus. There are different types of menus available in the food and beverage service industry, which may or may not be suitable for all kinds of events. Menus can be categorized based upon selective or non-selective, frequency of usage, that is single use or cyclic, and methods of pricing. That is A la carte menu, table day audit, and tutor. I will reiterate how these menus are different from one another. The types of menus which are commonly used in the food service operations are A la carte menu, table day audit menu, combination menu, cyclic menu, two chore, and single use menu. The categorization of the menus is based on the requirement of the commercial setup, which may or may not be used as much as for all event purposes. If we talk about a la carte menu, it is a French term and means according to the card or the advantage of this menu is guests have extensive choice to choose from, and guests can take dishes which they like. Now the disadvantage of this is needs more kitchen space, kitchen and service equipment. More space is required to be done, requires more kitchen staff. So that means n number of things, n number of so n number of foods are there. So similarly, that much manpower, stuff, everything is required. If you talk about table d'hôte, it is a French term again, which means table of the host. Less kitchen space and service equipments are required. Less space arrangement is required to be done. Less labor is required as the number of dishes is limited. Here, the choice of the guest is limited. Fixed amount has to be paid by the host to the caterer, irrespective of the dishes consumed. Needs of children, old age, and other cannot be catered to. Another limit. This is the limitation of this also. Then comes your carte de jour or platter de jour. This is which means plates of the day. Basic disadvantage of this is the type of menu alone cannot fulfill the needs and purpose of an event. Then comes your cyclic menu. This type of menu can be planned for educational and training workshops, which are carried out for several days and weeks. The disadvantage is that this is remained with previous for a certain set of days. This type of menu does not have any relevance for weather report. After the completion of the cycle, a new set of menu is prepared and the followed, keeping in mind the seasonal availability of the dishes. I will be stopping over here. If you have any questions, just let me know. I will be continuing in the next session from this. Tanya, do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay, so we will be meeting. Next class is scheduled on 2nd February.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will be continuing from this part.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.